What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sakina, and I'm back for another review. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 1, episode 8. When I tell y'all I was not going to film this today, but then I started watching it, and then I started drinking, and I was like, okay, I guess we can just go ahead and run our mouths. But before we get into this video, I do want to say Happy New Year to you all. It is January 1st of 2021, okay? We made it through. We made it through 2020. If y'all ain't seen my video of my recap and, you know, my little get to know me video, I think the link will be up here, up there, one of them. Okay, yeah, check that out. But anyway, we made it through the storm, okay? And we're going into the unknown. We don't know what 2021 has to offer us, but we're going to see. We're going to ride it out. So, yeah, Happy New Year, y'all. Let's get into this review. So the episode opens up with Heather. She's going into her second location for her beauty, what is it called? Beauty bar and laser, whatever, her med spa, okay? She's on to location number 2. I said shout out to Heather for making it big, because she did say that she always wanted to be an independent woman. Even inside of her marriage, she wanted to have her own business. That was just something that was important to her. Her husband, you know, he's a billionaire, so he was just like, I mean, why do you want to do photography? That little $400 ain't gonna do nothing compared to what I'm bringing in. But it was just more so of an individuality thing for her, and, you know, just showing off a skill set and just let her know, herself know that she got it. So I really am proud of her. I love this. Just, you know, boss moves. She don't give a fuck how much her husband made or her ex-husband made. She want to make her own coin. So I say that's good, because a lot of housewives do tend to just rely on the idea of being taken care of by their husband and them just coasting through life. In our reality, you should never lose yourself in a marriage, 1. And 2, you just never know when shit might hit the fan. So you always want to have a backup plan. Like, she really lucked up, because, I mean, it could go either one or 2 ways. You can have a supportive husband that is going to look out for you after the marriage, or you can have an asshole like Diary of a Mad Black Woman. You see how Charles did Helen, okay? You do not want to be a Helen. You want to make sure you got your own shit, so just in case shit hit the fan, you can exit out and you got an escape route. So, yeah, just always be mindful of that, ladies. I know I am, okay? You ain't about to kick me out, honey. I already got my rental property over there set. We see Meredith. She's down in her shop getting some jewelry together for a client. She on FaceTime with Brooks, and she was telling him, like, hey, you know, your dad is coming into town. So in walks Seth. And Seth was saying hey to Brooks, and he was like, thank you for missing my show. Shut up, and get over it, okay? So then they get off the phone with him, and they have a conversation, Seth and Meredith, and they were talking about their marriage. Seth, he want his wife back, okay? Plain and simple. And Meredith is feeling the same way. She was like, you know, with you not being around, it is making me realize, like, I want you here. And him not being there for Brooks and all of that just made her feel some type of way. So she does miss her husband. And he was saying the reason why he wasn't around is because Meredith told him, look, we need some space. So that's the reason why he didn't show up to the fashion show. I was like, I get it, but at the same time, no, sir, because that's your child at the end of the day. You ain't got to show up for Meredith. You showing up for him. You ain't have to sit next to her. You ain't have to do none of that. You could just be sitting in the crowd, cheering your son on, and then take your ass back to Canyon. Like, that's all you had to do. So I get it, but at the same time, that's not a good enough excuse for me, even though Brooks get on my damn nerves. Then we get Lisa. Oh my gosh. Her and her fake busy ass gets on my nerves. Now, she may be busy. I'm going to give her that. She might be busy, but I told y'all, it's just like she's trying to impress somebody. Like, girl, we don't give a damn how busy you are. You don't have to keep saying that, okay? And then she was, they were out to eat, her and her husband. And, you know, he was just basically saying, like, I feel like we need to cut back. When it comes down to their life, it goes work, the boys, their marriage. But them, like, spending time together is, like, on the bottom of the barrel of that list. So he really just wants to focus on being with the family. He said that he feels like he's missing out on his boys, and that does not sit well with him. So then in her confessional, Lisa was saying, you know, she feels guilty and she goes to bed at night wondering if her boys know they're loved. How guilty do you feel? Because, I mean, when Sundance is in town, you don't even answer the phone for them. So, I mean, you can very much so cut back. Like, if you're such a boss and you got all of this stuff going on, why don't you hire help? Why don't you hire employees? That way they can do the job for you and you can relax a little bit and have both, business and pleasure. Because if you're going to constantly work and do all of this extra, then you're going to lose your husband. Like, he looks tired. Like, you don't even really hear him out. Then she was talking about how she a good, I was about to say manipulator, a good multitasker in her confessional, and she trying to text at the same time, acting like she don't hear the producers. Like, I just can't stand people like that, because even her husband was like, what did he say? What is it for? Or what are you trying to prove? And I'm like, exactly. Like, what is this all about? Because you keep saying you busy. I'm going to question whether or not you're really busy, because you keep talking about it. I mean, we don't want to hear all that. We get Whitney's daddy. Y'all know I'm tired of seeing him in his wet black hair. Like, no, sir. You look crazy as hell. I don't understand how he can own a salon, or once had a salon, and his hair look like that. Like, what was you doing hair for band members? Because that shit that you got on your head, that's what it looked like. And it don't look good, by the way. So her and her husband, Justin, are on the way down to the rehab, because her dad called an SOS, because he's in a panic, because he has, I said because too many times, but he's in a panic because he is getting a roommate down at rehab, and he's not okay with that. Whitney is thinking, okay, he's using this as an excuse to get out of there, because remember, last episode he was saying that he was ready to go and start his career. So they go down there and talk to him. Oh, before they get there, in her confessional, she said that her dad has like this kind of entitlement way about him. Like, he made her pay $30,000 for rehab. And the way that he went about it was sending her a long list of all the things that he's done as a father. And yes, because I'm your father and I've done this for you, you should do this for me. Did I ask to be here? Do not send me no list of all the things that you've done for me. Because first of all, I'm clearly aware of the things that you've done. You've raised me up, okay? So I don't need a damn list. Second of all, my money is not your money. So don't make it seem like I have to help you with your habit. Don't do that. That was so distasteful. That was rude as fuck. And even Whitney said that, she told her dad, fuck you, but she ended up paying for it anyway. I said, I don't know if it could have been me. Okay, well then it might have been me, because I wouldn't want to see my parents down and out. That's been me before, but not for my siblings, not for my parents. Anyway, yeah, so let me shut my fat ass up, because girl, that is you, sis. But in 2021, we are working on a better me, right? So there's a lot of shit that I am not putting up with. There's things, and it's not just because of the new year. I've been working on this before 2021 approach. So yes, I'm more so focusing on me and not letting people, guilt me into their problems and all of that. Because one thing I am going to do is save you. And that's one of my biggest problems. It's Pisces shit, y'all. Sorry. So they get down to the rehab facility, and they're having a mediation with one of the workers there. And Whitney is just basically saying, like, look, I feel like, well, actually, I'm jumping the gun again. Her dad was saying, yes, I have this roommate that I'm not here for. I already told the facility when I got here that I did not want that. So Whitney is like, okay, well, what you trying to do then? He wants to leave, and he feels like it's time for him to go ahead and pursue his career again and open up his salon. But the thing is, Mr. Dad don't have a damn game plan. So how do you have a plan on opening up your shop, but yet you don't have anything thought out? And that's when Whitney was like, see, I feel like you think that it's up to me to pay for all of this. And no, I don't want to do that, because that's going to result in me resenting you. And I do respect the fact that she was able to articulate that to him in a nice mannered way that didn't rile him up or anything like that. He finally got it, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to work on myself for me, and, we going to get the ball rolling. So shout out to him. Stay in the program, sir, and see it through. So we just going to see, maybe at the reunion or maybe later on in the season, how that goes with the daddy. So we get down to the couples going snowmobiling, and I forgot to mention this when Meredith was in her little segment. She did say that Jen invited them out because they're doing like a whole couples thing, because Sharif is in town for a day. 24 hours, bitch. So anyway, they're all down there. Everybody is coupled up with the exception of my girl Heather. She is by herself. But she said, you know what? Don't even worry about that, because I'm fine with being by myself. Then we see that Jen is feeling some type of way, because Seth and Meredith are, you know, together. And she was like, I mean, what's going on with all of this? I mean, is y'all together or y'all not? And I'm like, hold on, wait, sis, mind your fucking business. So, yes, we see that everybody is getting on their snowmobiles. And Heather is on the single one. I was cracking up when she was like, do you have somewhere that you can put my bottle? I got some gin. Oh, I'm sorry, it's water. Not the gin, bitch. Speaking of gin, I mean, I ain't drinking gin, but I have some Henny and Stella Black. I keep seeing my friends post this on Instagram, so I decided to try it since y'all know I like Henny. But I don't like the taste. I did equal parts of the drink. They said I didn't do it right. Well, I said, okay, well, y'all should have sent me the damn recipe because I don't know how to make this shit. And the way that it's tasting, I don't like it. But I end up adding a splash of Simply Lemonade in it. So, I mean, it's doable for now. Ooh. I can tell my sis was not worried about having no man beside her because when I tell you Heather was whipping that damn snowmobile, she was riding out compared to the couples. Everybody was falling and shit. Like, she was like, look, I ain't got no damn burdens on me, okay? I'm getting down these slopes real swift like. So then we see that everybody gets done, you know, riding out and they go and sit around the fire. But before then, Whitney is peeping that Meredith and Seth are kissing and all of this. They real touchy-feely. And she was like, okay, this is not really making sense because they're doing all of this. But yet I have Jen in my ear and she's telling me that Meredith got a side piece. So, I mean, it's not adding up. So then, yes, they end up sitting around the fire and they're talking and all of that. And they get into the story of Sharif and Jen and how they met. So Sharif is going into the story about how they met. I think they met in college and she went on a date with him. But she was like, yeah, I'm bringing my cousins. So she brought all 11 cousins and they went out to eat. And she basically friends on him the whole time. And she said that it was a test. Because if you could accept my family, you could accept me. So obviously he passed the test because they married now. And he was just saying that she was sweet. And all the girls was like, do you know your wife, honey? They did a good flashback of all the times she was wilding out, being rude and saying some rude shit or some crazy shit. And they was like, yeah, I don't know. She a little spicy, sir. Like, yeah, you don't spend enough time with her like that. So you probably don't even know her, sir. I'm sure he know his wife. I was just joking. But anyway, they all get invited to the house. Who was Sharif and Jen's house, but only Jen, only Jen, Lisa, and Meredith were able to go with their husbands. But before they all leave, Whitney pulls Heather to the side and was like, so Jen told me about this whole Meredith possibly having a side dude situation, but you know, I don't know. Heather is like, I mean, that's not my business, so I don't know either. But in her confessional, she was saying that, yes, Jen did, well, she also told Whitney this too, but she was saying that Jen told her that Meredith has this side piece, went as far as showing pictures to Heather and was like, oh, but we just gonna keep this our little secret. So it's gonna be you and Heather's little secret, yet you running your mouth telling Whitney about it. Make it make sense. That's what I'm saying. You're too wrapped up in their situation. And Heather said that she's not going to ask Meredith about it. Until Meredith comes to her, she ain't heard shit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have that mentality because the way that Jen is going about this, Miss Loyal herself, is crazy, it's weird, and it's just like, why are you so concerned? But I know why she's so concerned. Basically, Heather is looking at her on some funny shit like, okay, I'm side-eyeing you because you being messy and you supposed to keep this a secret, yet you running your mouth. So yeah, Heather got her good eye on Jen. And I did remember seeing on episode 1, you know how they do like what's coming up on the season. They do end up falling out some way. And I do think that it's probably stemming from this and Jen being messy as hell. So the 3 couples are at the Shaw's house. And the husbands get into a conversation about Mormonism and being Muslim because, you know, Sharif is Muslim. And who was that? Seth was saying, oh my gosh, you know, Mormonism and being Muslim is almost similar. And I'm like, yeah, they got some similarities. However, Mormonism is a little too strict, a little too extra. What you mean I can't drink coffee? I can't drink tea. Tea is herbs. Like, it's just weird shit like that. So they were just saying that, yes, It's they kind of have some similarities, but no, I'm not really here for the whole Mormonism thing. Sharif asks Lisa about how are you able to live this Mormon life and you have a alcohol brand. And she was saying, I'm not really a cultural person when it comes down to the Mormonism or LDS, what she says. She said it's just more so the values. And I can understand that, but it kind of seems a little contradicting because the way that Lisa kind of holds herself up to this higher standard and how she just loves her religion, you would think that she would take it a little bit more serious than what she explained. So it's like, I mean, I guess or whatever, but go off, sis. So then the women go to the hot tub, and I guess, maybe they talked about that off scene or off camera, because it kind of threw me off. But anyway, they get into the hot tub, and they're talking, the husbands are talking, and I will say, I do like the husband dynamic, and that's pretty much how all of the husbands are. The husbands are always a lot more chill than the wives are. But I enjoyed the conversation that I think Lisa's husband's name is John. John said, and Sharif is just saying that, he's always on the go. He's only there for 24 hours. So, his job is very demanding. And he said no matter how long you've been in this industry, your family members will never get used to it. And we see that, of course. And he said that recruiting is all year. And he's like stuck in this one position. So there's times where Jen may want him to travel with her and he can't do that because he's stuck in Utah. And he said when he's home, she's usually gone. So, she might complain about certain things, but it's like, when I'm here, you're not. So they're basically missing each other. And when I say miss, I kind of miss it. I mean it in both ways. Like she misses her husband, he misses her, but at the same time, they miss each other as far as time. Like she's gone when he's there type of thing. So then Lisa's husband, John, is saying that, I get to see my wife pretty often, but the thing is, when we're together, I don't think she really sees me. And her idea of, like, spending time with me is asking me to drive her to go get a Diet Coke, and that's her meaning of quality time. And it's just like, Lisa, sis, you're gonna lose your husband if you don't get it right. Because, he does have a bit of like a pushover tendency. He gives me that feel, but at the same time, I could see him being fed up of her, overworking herself and always trying to be busy and not putting her family first and just being like, what, fuck this. I can go be with Rachel across the street for all it is. So, girl, you better tighten up because your husband might leave your ass. And then we see her down at the hot tub and she was talking about how she needs him to, what she say? She said she wants him to take care of her every way. I said, baby, this is a two-way street, okay? It don't seem like you doing anything for your husband. It's all about you. And like I said, if you want to keep it that way, he's going to be with Rachel around the block, okay? So keep playing. He was saying that he wants to set goals with Lisa, but he wants to set them together. More personal goals. Not that shit she was doing last week with them setting out their goals for business. And then that was another thing that they mentioned when she was out at dinner with her husband. She was saying that she wanted to include her kids more into their work. And I'm like, I get it, the family business type of thing, but no, that you're missing the whole point of what your husband is saying. He's saying that he wants to spend time with you and his family, not always based around business. Like, she does not get it. She's so busy, she just can't really see what's in front of her, the things that are important, aka your family. So then we see that Sharif is saying, when I get into these arguments, I don't even want to say arguments. He just said that when Jen feels some type of way, she tries to cut him deep. And he was like, yo, why you doing all of that? Like, So then down at the pool, Jen is saying the same thing, basically like, I let a lot of this stuff build up, and when it comes out, it comes out, because she said that she's supposed to be put on this act. Like, the things that Sharif does doesn't hurt her. The example that she used is her father and him not being at the funeral. And I'm like, okay. Now, Sharif seems like a very logical, cool, mellowed out guy, right? I love the little talks that he gives her and all of that. He keeps her level. However, yes, the things that you do for your job, it is really side-eye. Like, what do you mean? Your job is that demanding to where you can't be there for your family in a time of need, the loss of a family member? That's your family too. That's your father-in-law. And you mean to tell me you couldn't, be with your wife in that trying time? Like, That is the type of shit that will drive me crazy. And I understand Jen's frustrations. Like, I'm not about to just keep sitting here putting up with this type of shit, and you can't even be here to support me when I need you the most. And her thing is, she's very worried. Like, yeah, he's here for 24 hours. That's fucked up. But she said once her youngest son goes to college, then she's really just trying to figure out what she can do, because she's going to be alone for real. Like, you think she alone now, she's going to be by herself. So, yes, you may want to start a business or something like that, because, yeah, once you become an empty nester, I see it just going down here from her, from there, because it's already hard for her. Now we see the dudes. Now we see the guys in the house, and they're talking about, you know, their marriages. And Seth is saying, you know, would you guys be open to this whole modernization of your relationship? Like, you know, basically doing things their way, making up their own rules for their marriage, because he said that he hasn't seen Meredith in a month, but, you know, absence is making the heart grow fonder for him. My mouth is really dry, y'all, so it's hard for me to get some of these words out right about now, and this liquor ain't helping. So, yes, you know, it's making his heart grow fonder, and it's making him want to be in his relationship more. Like I said, Seth's been fighting for it since we seen his ass on the camera compared to Meredith. So while Seth is saying that he appreciates his wife more, all of this, down at the hot tub, Jen is asking about the whole separation. She's asking Meredith, and Meredith is just saying that in her confessional, she doesn't want to give away a lot as far as where her and Seth stand, because it could all backfire. So she doesn't want to be like, oh yeah, we're working out, we're doing amazing, da-da-da, and they fuck around and not even see it through, like see them trying through. So I understand what she's saying, but she did let them know, you know, we are in a place where we are working on our marriage, and that's not good enough for Jen. She was saying, you know, I'm saying all of this, and she isn't opening up, and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, okay, well, she told you the truth about where they are right now. She said they are working on their marriage, which is true. They already agreed to work on their marriage, and that's that. She said any other details, she'll let them know on her own terms. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to spread out. Like, I think Jen needs to understand that everybody is not the same. Just because you're an open book does not mean that she's going to be an open book, okay? Because I'm more so on the side of Meredith when it comes down to that. Certain things I don't speak on because I don't want them to backfire, or just simply because it wasn't anything to tell. Like, I know my best friends get mad at me if I don't tell them about this dude that I was talking to 2 months ago, and they be like, okay, well, bitch, we never heard about that. Yeah, y'all never heard about it, because there's no need for me to talk about it, because there was nothing to talk about. Like, I met this dude, we had a few back and forths, and it didn't go anywhere. So no, I wasn't running to tell y'all about it because there was nothing to tell. So yeah, sometimes I just pace things out before I go and run my mouth about something, whether it's, you know, a guy that I met, whether it's a business opportunity, or, you know, whatever it is. I just like to hold back on certain things. I mean, sometimes I do get a little excited and I might tell, but for the most part, I do try to wait it out a little bit before I go running my mouth. But anyway, that was pretty much the end of the episode. I'm really annoyed with Jen. It's just like, you're doing too much, and you just keep trying to harp on this idea of Meredith having this boyfriend and saying, you know, if you're not getting it at home, then you could be getting somewhere else. Okay, we could say the same thing about you, because Sharif is never around and you always claiming you lonely. Or we could say it about Sharif, since he ain't never around, he could be with somebody else. And I hope that's not the case, but I'm saying, you're so caught up on what Meredith has going on in her marriage, and the truth is, you're unhappy with your marriage, and you're so worried about her because it's like, you are not happy, so you want to be in everybody else's business and create drama around it because you're unhappy. And that's why I said earlier, like, I can tell you why she mad. Like, you doing all of this because you're unhappy. Like, no, sis, go sit down in the therapy chair, get your emotions together, and figure it out. But that was the end of the episode, y'all. We didn't get any Mary in this episode besides this one little teeny quick scene about her son, and that was it. Like I said, she's not a fit in this in this season anyway, or this series. She does not give me a good fit, and it's not because she's black. It's just she does not fit here. So anyway, let me know y'all thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.